All right, guys, we're live, and we're just going to give everybody a few minutes to come in here today. And before we start, would that be okay with everybody?
Sure.
Okay,
If
fantastic.
I'm
I
not
actually
okay
just
with
thought of
it,
a game. I just thought of a game.
Well,
please.
If if no one's watching it yet, they might not know the game.
okay. So,
Whoever gets the most texts or calls from this is the winner.
yay!
So all my people better be texting me and calling me after this. My number is right there. 512-501-4010. Let's go.
Guys, if you think I'm funny, text me. Just text me. You don't have to do anything about real estate.
We're
Just say
gonna have a little
Rosie. Just
competition.
text Rosie. So I can just win.
Let's see, we're gonna have a little competition, and I really need your help. I'm the only male on the team, so I need
Why
all.
is
You're
it
gonna lose.
my like is this minority request?
Yes.
Well, too sorry. Okay, so what is it? What's going on? Like
Okay.
what happened? I thought you were ready.
No, we're ready. We're definitely ready. We're gonna. Y'all want to give everybody just a second to jump in?
Yeah, Bree just turned around and looked at if her fireplace was okay.
I gotta make sure there's no crumbs on the floor.
I have a concern that this is not on Facebook yet. Oh, hey Varun, how are you?
Hey Varun.
You're gonna be helping me out.
Hi, Varun. Hi, Varun. Okay, let's look at. Oh my gosh, I'm having good stuff updated here
There's
now.
gonna be a lot of good information coming at you guys today, and so I'm just really excited to share with y'all. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Too much to digest today, so I'm going to go a little bit slow. All right, Roger. So you were ready and now you're not. What's going on?
Actually, I am ready, guys. So let me just go ahead and start.
Breeze, like, back off.
So, guys, it's it's Roger Hayer, Brittany Daly, and Rosie Hayer here. So, you see our numbers on the screen. Feel free to call, text, and if you have any questions or if you found this information useful and you want to know more, you want to have a conversation about it, please reach out to us. And we're excited to be here. We love sharing real estate insights and providing you with real investment. So, we're going to start the show we're going to start by sharing with you what's going on in the Golden Triangle. And today, Bree, we might be doing something a little bit differently. We might set the timer today to 60 seconds in the Golden Triangle. What do y'all guys think?
Ooh, can we do it?
He wants us to time him.
So you're going to set the
Oh,
timer,
okay. Oh,
and I'm going to not don't start it right now.
I won't. Oh,
Yeah. Then and then we're going to go over the news, and we're going to take a look at all of the relevant information that's impacting everyone's real estate decisions currently. We'll start with Austin, we'll go to Dallas, Houston, and then, so that's what we'll do. So, and then, of course, if you want to know how to buy real estate, you want to have those conversations, please reach out. And who's this show for? The show is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a first time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to buy your dream home. At Rivet, we feel like every real estate purchase is an investment into your future. And this show is also for our colleagues, for other real estate professionals, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So with that, let's get started.
Today was only 50% script. He memorizing half of it.
yeah.
You know what's so funny? I go back and I do watch these, right? And I'm like, I'm pretty mellow. I'm a mellow dude, like really mellow
You're
guy.
not mellow.
Is
No,
you're
no,
mellow sometimes.
mellow most of the time. You know me, Bree.
You're mellow in front of everyone but Rosie.
Well, I don't know how it just, it just.
His excuses, I'm the only one who can bring it out of him.
All right. So, do y'all want to start the clock?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Tell me when.
You tell me.
3.
Okay.
Oh,
3.
wait, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Present. Share screen. This
Wasting time.
part of it. Yeah. Okay, guys. So first off, in the news, Texas high tech shakes off post-pandemic slump and readies growth path. So this basically just goes into, long story short, a big part of our jobs, a large percent of our jobs are coming from the tech sector, and our tech sector is booming right now, and it's pretty obvious. It does talk about layoffs that occurred and where they happened. We saw them, for the large part, we saw the layoffs happening in first quarter of 2023. And you can see here in 2024, first quarter, really low numbers. Okay, so that's really good news. And so that's basically what I get off of this page, and things are looking good again. Now we're going to jump over to another headline. We're going to go to Austin economic indicators. This is from the Federal Reserve of Dallas. And so you can see our GDP is growing.
60 seconds over?
Yeah.
No way. Are you serious? Wow. Got through 2 headlines.
So, guys, you get no more news. Just kidding.
There's so much other.
Listen. The guy who says that he doesn't get to talk.
I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'll get better at this in the.
No, he's basically said one news in 1 minute. Not
It took me. In all fairness, it took
God love me.
Hey, in all fairness, it took me 30 seconds to open the news.
That was awesome. I'm gonna cry.
So if you do want this news, please reach out to us if you're not a part of our subscription already, and we'll have a beautiful PDF prepared with all of the details of what's going on in the market in general. And guys, if you want me to continue, we can always continue, but that's on you. I'm going to let my teammates make the call.
Well, I want to hear some more news. That wasn't enough for me.
Me neither.
Can we get a little bit more?
So who wants to hear more?
Me. Rosie secretly does. Don't let her fool you.
Yeah. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and take.
You get 3 minutes now. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breathe 3 minutes.
Set the timer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Austin business cycle. This Austin economic activity grew at an annualized 7% in April.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, faster than the 1.5% gain in March. So Austin's economy is booming. Unemployment rates are low. And so that's all I have to share on that with you. And the sectors that are really outperforming for us are trade, transportation, and utilities. And but these numbers are going to go back and forth, right? Depending on who hired more. And there's always going to be some shift there. So so Dallas economic indicators came in really good too. Houston was struggling with energy prices, and I'm sure that everybody knows that because gas is a little bit cheaper right now. But DFW employment expanded at an annualized 6%. Payrolls in Dallas rose 6.5%. So here's Dallas Fort Worth above the rest of the state, right?
But we don't see you.
You don't see it? Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, so this is the Dallas economic indicators. Dallas is doing phenomenal. Dallas is doing really good. Unemployment remains stable. So anyone who says that, you know, that Texas or Dallas or anybody talks about the economy, I just don't think they know what they're talking about. Harvard does a research, and they talk about the housing. You guys can see this, right? It's a
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apartment rent growth has stalled. I think they're a little late to the news. I think we already know that. But the good news is also that they said apartment demand has started to rebound. Rebound, which is good news. And I am seeing that because we went in and we looked at the Austin multifamily report, and it was at 15.5% vacancy, and now our vacancy is a lot less. and I'll just show you guys so you can see it here yourselves. So we're at 14% vacancy, and it dropped a whole percent.
Wow.
Half, yeah. So there's more stabilizing. Rents were down 10%. Now they're only down 5.5%.
It used to be 12%.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, so double-digit rent decreases were occurring, and I feel like the worst is over. But we are anticipating to see new inventory to hit the market soon. Okay.
Oh wait, can I just highlight one thing that I'm reading right now?
Yeah.
It's on like oh wait, go back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Let me see. Hold on.
Can you go back to that thing? On the third paragraph,
I'm going
it said
back.
something like Austin.
Hold on.
Did you exit out?
I think I did. Oh wait. Yeah, I exited out, I guess.
Oh, but it basically said, it's okay. I will kind of summarize it. It said Austin remains one of the fastest growing metros in the country.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
You were
People
saying
keep
here?
Yeah, because there's been a lot of things, like those little articles that say like top 10 cities, blah blah blah. People have been crapping on Austin, saying, "Oh, Austin is slowing down in growth," da, 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 da. And I'm like, I'm not seeing that anywhere. There we go. We're still one of the fastest growing metros in the country.
Yep, we are. And the other place that you can see that at, I have some websites bookmarked, and trust me, Austin is still at the forefront.
Yeah.
Now, this going back just to Alamo Draft House.
We can't see it now.
Yeah, I'm going to share it with you.
Oh.
So Alamo Draft House sold all of its locations to Sony, and Sony's getting ready to create an immersive experience with those theaters.
Wow. Movie watching just became fun again.
Yeah, going to the movies is going to become fun again. That's right. And so we're gonna talk about.
Pay me a lot of money to get out of my bed to watch a movie when I can just watch on Prime and Netflix.
We're seeing some industrial effects place.
Yeah, tell me about this one.
So
100,000 square footage coming up in Georgetown, right off of 130 12 and 45.
35.
Wow.
Oh, and I want you to just see how close to Gerald that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Roger, can you
just scroll up a little bit?
I'm going to Gerald today. So Gerald and Georgetown share a border.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Gerald today, just right.
And can you maximize it real quick? Like zoom in.
Okay.
Zoom in more.
Yeah. So like
so I want everybody to know that this highway 35 right here that goes all the way to Gerald, it's an interstate highway, and it's probably the busiest highway and has the most 18-wheelers going from whenever I go from Austin to Dallas. What I'm trying to really indicate is that it's a highly traveled highway, so supporting an economy off of a highly traveled highway is not difficult. So new restaurants, new subdivisions, banks, hospitals, all these things come in easy and are supported easily.
So guys, there's a $1 billion food distributor that handles 75% of the state's school lunches, and they're expanding in Gerald.
Yeah.
$42 million on their facility.
Wow.
It's
Anybody wants to see what 42 millions look like? Scroll up.
So it's not far from Georgetown. Well, that warehouse that was coming in was down here, so maybe roughly like 8 or 10 minute drive.
Yeah, not even 10 minutes, because I just Googled that Costco, which is over there, to Gerald. That's not even a 15-minute drive.
Okay.
Yeah. Bree, you know what? For our presentation deck that we're preparing for Georgetown and for Gerald, these two news must go in there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Austin is always on the breaking edge of doing things, especially startups. Austin is home to a lot of startups. So Instacart, the guys that were managing Instacart, actually started a company called No Scrubs in Austin. So if you need to get your laundry done, it's like
That's hilarious.
So all of the blue area gets the laundry done. Everybody else wears dirty laundry.
They haven't quite expanded, right? So, and other Austin news before I shift to Dallas, because I am on a time limit here and I don't want to run all my minutes out.
You already ran your time, but that's okay.
Okay, so there's some drama going on around the Metro Rail, and I really hope that we get to see a Metro Rail because I use it all the time, and it's supposed to be that same plan that takes you all the way to the airport. So when I want to travel in the future, I could just jump on the Metro train, and I live right down the block. I can walk there with my suitcases, and then get right to the airport. And how beautiful would that be? So I'm waiting for that to happen, but it's caught up in a lot of legal issues. They're saying, well, can they use that money or not? And they're going to spend all week this week. A judge is going to decide their fate. And more than likely, there is going to be an appeal. There's definitely going to be an appeal either way it goes. And we'll be keeping you in the loop of what happens. Now, and even more exciting news, if you didn't think it was already exciting enough, uh, Texas is getting its own stock exchange.
What?
What?
So Dallas is the #2 financial hub in the United States, and pretty soon, I
Do we
think
get to buy Texas stock?
yeah. So 2026 might be a little aggressive, but it's being backed by BlackRock.
Oh my freaking holy schmoly God. What?
It'll be called the Texas Stock Exchange.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, some experts are saying that right now there's a binopoly, which is like the Nasdaq, and well, anyways, there's only two places where people go usually to list their
No,
companies.
what is going to be the portfolio for this Texas Stock Exchange? I mean, who are the investors? What are the things? What are the assets they're managing?
Well, I think they're going to have to pay a lot less entry fee because Nasdaq and the New York Stock Exchange, for instance, the New York Stock Exchange charges $300,000 to list your business on there. In Texas, is I think going to be charging a lot less. The Nasdaq is charging $295,000 to list a company on the stock exchange. There might be there. I don't think it's just money that's going to be the incentive for people to go there, but we have the most headquarters. We're attracting more headquarters than any other state. Now this year so far, California has surpassed Texas in the most relocations and corporate relocations, but the year's not over yet. So let's see how it ends. Uh,
Right.
I think it's just companies that are going to align more with Texas, the stance that Texas is taking as far as being pro business, and so there could be companies that say, hey, we want to be, that's what we want to associate with. So,
Yeah.
but again, there is some glamour and some fame and being on the Nasdaq or ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. So
Yeah.
some experts are saying that this isn't necessarily going to be a replacement for that, but at the same time, I can see that, hey, a lot of things go viral, and people might want to ring the bell in Texas. So I don't think it's fair to say that to exactly decide the fate of that already, but we'll see. Oh my gosh, sorry about that, guys.
I
And
got a call.
So, guys, all the rest of the in Dallas, look, in Fort Worth, the stockyards, they're getting a $630 million investment, a development investment. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Fort Worth stockyards, they attract 9 million people a year, and this is what the renderings look like for that $630 million.
Wow.
Very nice.
And in Arlington, they will be spending $4 billion. And right now, they just completed, or they just topped off their first apartment complex that they're building in the entertainment district. And what that means by top off is like they set the highest point on the apartment complex. And so like that's a milestone, right? 300 apartments, $100 million investment. And so that's the news for today. What do you?
Wow. Man, I feel like to me, seeing Texas on a stock exchange,
You know.
Wow, like that's like a whole new good news for Texas. Like it beats all development. I think it's a ultimate proof that Texas has a strong backbone. I've always heard that Texas is its own country within
Yeah.
America. Like I've heard it over and over again. It is its own economy within America, but this demonstrates that. What do you think, Brie?
Yeah, I mean, just the news in general, there's so many different companies coming in, so many big things that are coming soon. Like what really caught my attention was the Georgetown and the Gerald things, just because we have a lot of people that are investing in Gerald duplexes. Matter of fact, there is another duplex that is available right now, if anyone wanted to hop on it. But the amount of growth that's coming, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, the right now, people are saying, "Where's Jero?"
Yeah.
We have been investing in Jero for the last 7 years,
Mhm.
and I think these duplexes, I remember being sold for 375, and they went to 480 now. I
One
cannot
raised at 500.
appraising at 500. So here you go, right? So I don't think it's a question of location anymore. I think it's buyers having confidence that it is going to be a long-term good investment. And I think the only thing we are trying to demonstrate today is that we're showing that more industry is coming there. Like when we're looking at Gerald and Georgetown,
Yeah.
100,000 square feet of flex space coming there, right? And something else you showed me about Gerald was that food distribution company, $42 million, right?
$1 million. Yeah.
So when this big of a square footage warehouse is being built, how many people are going to get employed? Georgetown is already expensive. Like you
Mhm.
can find a good rental place less than $2,100 in Georgetown. So question is that where are those people going to go based on their median wage? They're going to go into Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's the news for today. But on a separate note, too, Rosie, I wanted to talk about how maybe some people that we're working with, what are the traits of maybe some successful people, successful investors that we worked with in the past? And I feel like the ones that are really able to move the ball forward, are really able to invest in real estate and do great with it, are the ones that um, have the clarity that they're going to win through relationship, right? Like having a great lender, having a great agent, having great contractors, like someone that really genuinely knows how to win through people. And I know you have a lot to say about that. So if you guys can just share about some of the traits that some of our greatest investors have had, because again, we've helped people scale to 40, 50 doors. And I think that uh, our viewers are probably genuinely curious about what are some of the traits that they can make their own, so that they can experience the same level of success.
Bree, you want to go?
Sure.
Go.
I was gonna say one thing about that. I think a lot of the people, especially like our most successful investors, what they've done is they've had a good team around them and they trusted their team to do their one thing, right? So, they trusted their lender to um, understand the financials for them and work with them to find out what program is going to help them the best or how to consolidate different things, whatever is needed. Worked with their agent to say, okay, we're going to give you the market insight, bring the deals to you, do the analysis really in essence for you, right? You look at it, you like it or not, your choice, right? But I think having trusted people around you and allowing them to do their one thing in the way that they're supposed to, rather than trying to do everything yourself, like I'm not a lender, right? So I can't expect to understand the ins and outs of lending. There's high level that we understand, right? But whenever you have those people I'm not a contractor, but I can trust my contractor to know what is needed in this instance.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. To have highly specialized knowledge around you. One of the, I was reading this article from Cornell University where they said that there are three qualities a high net worth investor carries.
Mhm.
Number one, they're great visualizers. Like they have this insane ability to visualize With me, I have realized that they're able to paint a vivid picture in their mind on what it is that it means to own real estate. Why is it that they will rely on a real estate as an asset rather than putting some money in the stock market and 401k? They're great visualizers. They know what their end game looks like. And second, I've never heard this term before. We call them 10 move chess players. Like after they visualize it, these people have this ability to think 10 chess moves ahead. I mean, they're not playing no checkers. Like most people are thinking one or two move ahead and wondering, okay, what I'm going to do in 6 months and a month from now, right? These people are thinking, okay, my kid is about to go to college in 5 years. How am I going to position myself now? And third, these people have some, like, these are the people that were incredibly amazing. I mean, they have very low fear. And I'm not talking about fear around snakes and spiders. These are the people who really don't care on what other people think. Most people are worried about how they're going to be seen and how they're judged. These people are able to just completely let go
Yeah.
of all the judgment that society carries. I mean, so many of our people, if we look back, Brie, on our conversations, they are first trying to debunk what they've heard from their friend circle.
Mhm.
Most of the objections we're handling with them is never from their experience. It's always what their friends and family are talking about.
Yeah.
And if one person, they shared this story. Can I share a story real quick?
Please.
So very early on in real estate training, they shared the story of these monkeys in a cage. So what they did is they had a cage and they did some experiment with some monkeys. They put some bananas on the top and they put three monkeys there. Okay. And of course, the bananas are going to attract the monkey. So monkeys will climb up, and one monkey is trying to take bananas down. The moment they approach for the bananas, they will spray them with water, with a water hose, like really high pressure water. And the monkey will be pushed down, right? The second monkey is like, well, maybe I should give it a shot. And he will climb up and try to grab some bananas, and they will, you know, spray some high pressure water on them again. And the third one was like, maybe I should try it again, right? So what they did is they replaced one monkey with a new monkey who has never seen that happen. So the other two monkeys knew that not to climb up because they're going to be sprayed with water. The third monkey came in and they're like, well, are you crazy? You're not going to climb for the bananas? They're just right here. Like, that's our thing.
Yeah.
He climbed up, the other two monkeys pulled him down aggressively and said, no, don't climb, don't climb. They create like so much fear around as if he's going to get killed doing that. What they did is now they replaced the second old monkey and replaced a whole new monkey with them. Now we have two new monkeys and one old monkey left. The newest monkey is like, wow, there's the bananas. Are you not going to climb for it? Like, are you crazy? He climbs up again, and the other two monkeys pull him down. One knew that there was a water hose. One never saw a water hose sprayed, but he was just pulled down by other people.
Mhm.
Now they took the last old monkey who actually saw the water hose sprayed on them with a brand new monkey again. Now we have three new monkeys. So this newest monkey came in and he climbed up for bananas, and the two monkeys pulled him aggressively down, trying to save his life. And guess what? These two monkeys have never seen the water hose sprayed on them.
Mhm.
So, what I'm trying to share with y'all is that a lot of people out there haven't even done what you're aspiring to do because the fears are transferred over and it's a learned behavior. They just think it's their responsibility to save you from getting killed by buying a house.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's a great analogy, Rosie. And to piggyback on that, I think that one of the traits that I also noticed just from what you were telling me is that successful people ask questions and they want to know more, right? So they don't speak in absolutes and they'll ask, well, why does it have to be this way? Versus I've seen other people who never invest have really they're
Strong opinions.
really strong opinions about everything and don't collaborate well. Like
Yeah.
get stuck in their own they get stuck in their own ways of doing things.
I'm going to be speaking with the group of investors this weekend, and I'm like thinking in my head on what are the limiting beliefs these people carry that I can help kind of eliminate from their memory. And and I was having a mastermind conversation around it, and I realized that there is this incredible limiting behavior that people carry where they think that they are going to get the same deal regardless of who is approaching the seller for financials.
Mm.
Imagine this: you're a broker or you're a seller. Forget broker, you're a seller. And a buyer approaches you directly and they said, hey, I want to buy your property. Could it be possible that you are going to feel like that I can't tell this guy everything I need to know because it's going to jeopardize my deal with him? So let me withhold as much as I can to make sure that he feels safe with only the limited information I'm going to give this buyer to buy my property.
Mm.
And the buyer might be thinking that, well, I need to ask all kinds of questions because if I don't ask, I'm not going to be told. And then they ask the questions that rub a seller a wrong way. Because here's the thing: what is the difference that you go to a hospital and you go for a physical, and doctor can ask you to do all kind of things and you're comfortable doing that? But if a random stranger asks you to put a gown on so they can examine you, would you do that?
No.
No, but you will do it with a doctor.
Mhm.
That is the difference between communicating with a broker versus communicating with the end buyer directly.
Yeah.
When a broker is in a picture, they can ask for all kind of financials from a property owner and disclose them in a legitimate manner. But a buyer reaching out and asking directly is like a stranger asking you to put a gown on so they can examine you medically.
Very true.
Very big level of closeness. And I don't think people understand that. And then they think the solution is that, oh, I need to be broker. Let me just get licensed. Well, okay, get licensed, but make sure you attach 15 years of human behavior experience to that.
Yeah.
Because if you are not going to back up your license with experience, it's equivalent to nothing.
Yeah.
It truly is equivalent to nothing. Because I don't think the value we bring to the table is the license. License, anybody can get licensed. But the value is that the learned behavior, the learned training, the skills, the hours and hours of reading and educating ourselves. And I think, Roger, isn't that what you were talking about in leadership skills this week?
Yeah.
Like we study how to show up as leaders in our community. And if you can just help everybody kind of understand that, that would be great.
Yeah. So I do have this book on my desk. It's something that I was reading today and when I went into the coffee shop. So it's John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And what he's talking about in here, and I think what you really hinted at, was people's appetite for conflict. And so what happens is you have people who react rather than respond in a conflict. And so when they're doing their own negotiations, they're coming across as very hostile,
Yeah.
and their emotional EQ is totally whack. And so I think what's happening is, and even Harvard Business Review talks about this, is the greatest asset that you can bring into a business as a business leader is your EQ. And so if you're getting to pay a professional to do that heavy lifting for you, it's kind of like playing poker. If they don't see your emotions and you have somebody that's forward facing or client facing for you, then they can break the news in the most eloquent way and really gain an upper hand in the negotiation process. And so that's one of the traits, Rosie, that I saw directly related to what you were speaking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called keeping your emotions between the lines,
Yeah, yeah. And there are different levels of leadership. I think no man and no business grows beyond the law of the lid. Like,
Yeah.
would you help everybody understand what is law of the lid?
Yeah, so law of the lid is a really good principle. It's basically saying that okay, so whatever your leadership style or whatever how you evaluate your leadership, let's say that if you were to rate yourself on a scale of 1 through 10, and you rated yourself at an 8 in leadership, right?
Mhm.
John Maxwell says your highest earning capacity will be a 7. So it'll bump up against your leadership style, or your leadership quality, right?
Mhm.
So and leadership is something they ask him. They say, "Hey, are great leaders born?" He said, "Well, of course they are. They are born, but I think what they're meaning to ask is it something you can develop within yourself?" And he says the lowest level of leadership is your role or your job title. That's the lowest level of leadership.
Wow. Help elaborate that.
Yeah, anybody can become a leader. And here's why I think this is so important, because at the end of the day, we have clients
Hold on,
that,
hold on. What did you say? Like the lowest form of what is law number one, two, three, whichever law it is?
yeah, so number one is the law of the lid, right?
Yeah.
And that one is how well you lead determines how well you succeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I genuinely want everybody that's watching this and everyone in our world to get those promotions at work, to buy businesses in real estate that make them money. And so the amount of success that they're going to realize is directly related to the level of leadership that they've created for themselves,
Yeah.
right?
So on the other note, as you were talking about the law of lid, and after that you had mentioned a job title one. What was that law?
Yeah, that falls under chapter 1. It just basically talks about,
Oh, so if you think your responsibility is only up to the job title that
yeah.
you
So for instance, some people won't go to a leadership conference because they feel like they're not in a leadership position. So
everybody's leading.
yeah, so they said the lowest level of leadership is the position based leadership.
Yeah, I often hear people say, "Well, I don't know, like I don't know how to do it. Like that's not my role. Like that's not my responsibility."
Yeah.
And it still till today is my biggest pet peeve. And the reason I say that is because I'll give you an example, okay? And I want you all to know that we don't talk about it; we walk about it.
Mhm.
This week we had a client who is on the market, and because of the weather changes, we couldn't do photo shoot, and we ended up doing it on Monday, right? And I was really trying to hard to accommodate that while sellers were away for a trip, so they don't have to worry about evening and entertaining somebody in the evening to come to the house. So Monday night, I get a message at 9:30 at night that hey, the photographer didn't show up because like I we have been waiting since 8:30. We have held off our dinner for 3 hours. Now everybody knows that Monday is already not anybody's favorite day. You know, it's coming at full force at you. And when I got that text message, first thing in the morning, I replied back to them and I said, guys, look, I take 100% responsibility of this. I know I'm not the photographer, and I know that I was in dark about it as well. Like he was a no show on you, and he was a no show on me, right? But I take 100% responsibility of what you have to experience. And I want to tell everybody that Roger took his lunch break to drive 40 minutes to this seller's property, and we gifted them a dinner gift card to make up for that. And it's not because we owe it to them, it's because on our clock, we take responsibility of whatever happens, and we're going to do whatever in our power to create an experience for someone else. Because this is not a fly by night relationship. So to me, this is where we don't say, well, it's not my responsibility because I'm not a photographer. They didn't tell me. Or, well, I'm not going to get paid to drive the car to go meet someone. And like Roger had nothing to do with it. Like he didn't have to do that. But it's how you make them feel in your presence. And if people are not feeling safe and taken care of on your clock, I'm afraid to tell you, you are the lid of
Mhm.
your life.
Yeah.
And you and I are not going to go much far together, regardless if it's a customer or a companionship or a business alliance. Our values got to align.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's an inconvenience to you, to serve people in your world who put food on your table, who have allowed you to earn incredible experiences in life, then our values won't match.
And definitely, leadership goes both ways, and that's why I thought that our clients could really benefit. Not only our clients, our sphere in general could benefit from these laws of leadership because they're expanding their world, and when we all expand our world, we're going to get better results, naturally.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but there are some attractive traits that I wanted to share. The attractive traits of a great leader. Let me see if I can share
What
my.
are those?
Okay, so attractive traits. They have a respect for others, personality to overcome difficulties. 3, they're courageous. 4, they have a success mindset. 5 is loyalty, and 6 is adding value to others. And I really like this one a lot because,
Wow.
how are you creating value? How are you adding value? We hear about that a lot. And
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Roger, which normally doesn't happen, but I think this is going to be novelty. There was this investment property that had an issue in the middle of the night at 7:30. He got a picture in his phone saying that the yard has a huge water leak. And Roger doesn't know anything about water leak, but the thing he knows is how to just show up. He showed up, he called the city plumber, and the city plumber is like, well, the earliest I can come in is in the morning. And mind you, this person is gone on a trip, and the neighbors are calling us because they probably had our sign in the yard when we were helping the property rent. Now, even if it's a tenant, it's a tenant's bill. Like, if you don't care for your tenant's finances, how are they going to take care of your finances? It's about the experience you create for your tenants. Roger got the city plumber to show up at the property at 9:30 at night. I don't know how he did that, but to me, that was class A act. I mean, like, who wants to get out of the bed at 9:30 at night and let me just fix a plumbing leak, especially when they're working on the city clock?
yeah,
So,
it was actually, Rosie. It was having respect for the other person. It was valuing the other person. It was
yeah,
being in love with the other person. I'd never seen him, and I was like, "Hey, if you ever want to go grab a beer, just let me know." And we were friends at the end of the call, and we never even met each other. But I think that's what our clients get to experience. That's
yeah.
what people in our world get to experience when they hire us. Is that we're going to bring that EQ so that that leak can be taken care of.
I'm going to share a little bit. Do you mind if I share one more quick
Absolutely,
thing?
yes.
I work with this real estate attorney. He's absolutely a great relationship, I would say. Like, I call him a really good friend in today's world. And because he has this incredible ability to just say what needs to be said. A lot of people can have the easy conversation. He's capable of having the tough conversation, being an attorney. So he told me, I remember
Oh,
I'm
Rosie.
gonna have to really reframe this on how it's gonna come across. So I remember it was a tough conversation. It was a real estate closing happened, and the funding was not happening in the Friday, and the weekend was showing up. So listeners, if the funding on the transaction doesn't happen on Friday, which means the money doesn't hit seller's account on Friday, you get keys on Monday. So the whole weekend you might have planned your U-Haul trucks and stuff. It ain't happening. So it was that kind of scenario. And his office was the closing office. So he cannot do anything if the banks are not going to authorize and fund it. They can send the wire, right? So, anyways, I saw a bunch of people get on the phone call and they were trying to point fingers at him and they were getting mad at him on how he needs to make it all happen tonight. He said, because we have you as a company, we pay you paying your title premium, you're getting the escrow fee, you're supposed to do this. You know what he said?
Hmm.
With a lot of confidence and courage. He said, I ain't no monkey that you're going to throw a penny and I'm going to dance.
Yeah.
My responsibility was to complete transaction ethically and responsibly. And I did that. I don't control banks on when they fund a transaction. And you know what it made me think of? A lot of people will go run do something if they get paid for it. To me, that's no less than a monkey act.
Yeah.
Money is thrown at you, you will do it. But what are you willing to do when there's no money thrown at you? Do you believe in the value you bring to the table? And I think in today's world, I told my son, I said, going forward, forget about getting a paycheck. You're going to have to work for value and become so valuable in an organization that they can't live, breathe without you. That is going to be the new true leadership going forward. Because half the things they can throw it at AI and they will spit out the results for literally $5.99 a month.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
all.
Wow, Rosie, that was pretty passionate of you.
Well, I'm sorry if I obliterated some boundaries here, but I thought that was pretty badass.
And I think I think I like what you're saying because it speaks definitely into the book too. Is how you become valuable, how you sincerely become valuable is by valuing others. You know,
Yeah.
and so imagine I'm just going to set up a scenario here now. If I was wanting to buy some more real estate and I set up a plan and I said, I want to buy X number of properties by the end of the year, or this is my 5 or 10 year plan, because we overestimate what we can get done in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 5. So what I would do and we are doing this, but what I would be telling the audience or members who are watching this is develop your 5 to 10 year plan, and can you articulate exactly what you intend to accomplish in that much time? And then the second thing is, have you communicated it to your inner circle? Have you spoken to Brittany about the number of properties that you're looking to acquire? Have you spoken with the lender and come up with a plan? Do you have your finances in order? Do you know how much tax you're paying? But before that, I'm just going to use this script, these 9 things, to actually set up what a successful plan would look like. Number one, if I'm valuing others, I'm valuing Brittany, I'm valuing my lender, and I'm setting up my goals and I'm sharing them with them. Second, I'm maintaining a positive attitude. They said sometimes you have to recalibrate your sail. Sometimes that means that you might have to take a second look at your plan. And am I giving myself enough dopamine, as Rosie would say? Am I setting realistic goals, or are they overambitious and making me feel bad about real estate, right? So there's some great properties that we have now. Just reach out to Zan, ask them about them. Grow daily.
We have one investor who has already closed on a property and he's so excited. Like Bree was telling me that he cannot buy another one until 6 months. You have to wait 6 months for the next purchase. But he's already calling her. Hey, I found another property. Can I look at it? Well, here's the thing. You're probably going to be the one who's going to be ready to buy on the 6th month.
But
Because
Rosie,
you're that ahead of
how is it that I know exactly who you're talking about? Because this person has an infectious mental attitude.
Yeah, we
right?
don't drop names on our calls.
Yeah,
But they know who they are.
I know
If
exactly.
you're listening, you know who you are. Okay.
So,
Lead by example. I think this week hats off to you.
Mhm.
I was impressed.
How does a client lead by example with us?
How does a client lead by example to us? Their loyalty. When I have
Or the person you just shared about, right? He's not even able to buy until the 6 months are up, but he's already fine.
oh yeah,
That's leading as an example, isn't he?
100%, 100%. They're demonstrating to us what it means to stay ahead of the game. Now, did they have hiccups? Yes. If I share his story of what his real estate hiccups looked like prior to buying a property with us, it would shock somebody's world and pull the rug underneath their feet and make it so difficult for them to even make a decision to move forward. And this person actually shook it all off, spoke about it, because when you speak about it, it loses power over you. You need people. They said joy amplifies by sharing, and sorrow reduces by sharing. So he talked about it with the right people who guided him in the right direction. I had numerous conversations with him about it. And I'm so incredibly grateful to see his potential bloom. He deserves it.
Number 7, how did he equip you guys? How did he equip y'all to win, to make sure he wins?
All the lender paperwork. Bree, how quick was he to get the paperwork to Sharon?
I mean, it was literally like we gave him the information and he did it that same night. The next day I had pre-approval. They had everything done. And it's not W-2. 1099 got all the paperwork done.
Wow.
Yeah. And guess what? He kept on asking us, is this easy? Is it this easy to buy a property? Like, is it this easy to buy a property? Like, is buying real estate this easy? I said, yeah, it's supposed to be this easy because you're prepared for it. And he kept on like, because he had such a tough experience that he couldn't believe that buying real estate can be this easy, right? And that's our job. If you're finding it hard to do real estate on our clock, you need to find somebody else.
What's a specific example of him trusting the process?
Oh, man, moment he got qualified and we started showing him the property, he did not question our ability to negotiate for him. He didn't question our ability to advise him on what things he need to be patient around and what things he need to be proactive about. And he just trusted us with our ability to get the job done.
You know, at moments I feel like you're speaking about Varun because he fits a lot of these traits too, doesn't he?
Who said that?
Well, I was saying at times I feel like you're talking about Varun. I know we're not. We're mentioning somebody else.
Yes.
Thinking about these, I was like, man, Varun is someone who wants to grow daily. He's leading by.
Oh my God, I'm reading all his comments right now. I love you, Varun. You're amazing.
He is.
And yeah, he's one of our investor friends, and he has bought real estate with us. And I'm incredibly confident that it's going to serve him well. And his patience and his composure throughout the transaction, and even through the hiccups he has experienced, are incredible. Like he stood down, he's like, well, this happened. Okay, fine. What's next? Like so incredibly easy to move from one point to another.
Now, I do want to balance this conversation because I feel like we are talking about trusting, right? And somewhere someone's going to feel like we're saying to have blind faith and walk into something with blind faith. I don't think that's what we're talking about. We're talking about creating a healthy balance, being optimistic, yes, but at the same time being realistic and using your intuition, but at the same time planning and looking at the facts.
You know, I'm going to sound so prophetic saying, yeah, Brie, go.
I was going to say one thing that our client did. It's not like you were saying, it's not just like blind trust, but when our client is able to, they had a vision, and their vision originally on what they were wanting wasn't going to serve him as well. He was looking for something that maybe was a little bit closer into town and needed a little bit more work. And obviously I wanted to show him that so that he could have a comparison. So showed him a couple of those properties, and he was willing to kind of expand his horizon and not be like, in a box, right? He had his box. We showed him the box, but then he went outside the box a little bit. We showed him a property a little bit further out that was a lot newer than what he was looking at and needed no repairs. And because of that, I think the ability to be open, right? So trusting us that like, hey, this might not work for you, but at least take a look at what your options will be, and then make the decision on what you feel is going to be best for you. But trusting is being open to the different possibilities.
You know what I really feel like you guys are talking about, and I've been really consuming this book like crazy because I feel like this is exactly what everyone in our world needs, so that we can all grow like exponentially. Let me see if I can share my screen here with you guys. Okay. So it really sounds like what you're talking about to me is building an intuition. And so, see, some people get riled up. If you told me, hey, Raj, here's this piece of real estate, and I had that personality where I was reacting and I said, no, that's not what I asked for. But it sounds like this person that you're talking about has an intuition. Yeah. So they look at it and they ask themselves, and they say, how am I feeling about this? What is this making me feel right now?
What do I know?
What do I know? What do I not know? What is the missing piece here? What is something that Brittany or Rosie or Raj can bring to my awareness that'll make me feel better about this?
Yeah. And asking the questions, like trusting doesn't necessarily mean you don't ask questions. It's not the blind trust like we talked about. Yeah. It's building this intuition and asking these questions, reaching out to us and saying, okay, Brie, I know you gave us this, but how does that work? What do you mean by this? You can still ask the questions and have the trust as well.
Everybody knows Anthony Robbins, and he said something incredibly powerful that I think comes in handy in business and in relationships. He said, there's so many people out there who just stay prepared for something bad to happen.
Oh.
And he said, there is an equal chance for something good to happen as much as it is for the bad to happen. So when we are looking at, oh my gosh, when is the shoe going to drop? What's bad going to happen? Well, just give yourself an opportunity that there's an equal good that is possibly going to happen for you as well, right? So it's all about Alan Watts. He's like, As the Man Thinketh. He wrote a very powerful book. He said, if you have belief, you don't need faith. If you believe in something, you're not going to need faith to push you through.
If you know something, I think.
Yeah.
If you know, you don't.
So what would be, no, I'm not talking about God faith. That's a different thing. I'm talking about have faith in the process kind of stuff, trust in the process. When you believe that this is the right option for you, so take your time in building your belief system accurately and make sure you're borrowing the belief system from a reliable source. You're not just building biases based on what your sphere is telling you, your inner circle is telling you, who hasn't even gone on the path that you're headed to.
Well, that's what this book talks about too, is developing your intuition. And the way that you develop it is by learning and putting stuff in your head, because you're going to tap into that information that's, I know Chase doesn't like to use the word subconscious mind, but your, I guess your prefrontal cortex, and then wherever else the information is hidden at, and, unconscious mind. So in my unconscious mind, if I'm putting all of this great stuff in my head and I'm studying about real estate, I'm watching these webinars, I'm listening to the news, because look, there's somebody spending $630 million on the Fort Worth stockyards. Texas is getting its own stock exchange. I mean, how much evidence?
100,000 square footage of warehouse coming to Georgetown. 42 million of distribution coming to Gerald.
Now when I want to exercise my intuition, it's going to be so much easier because I gave it something to use.
We're waiting.
Okay, this is Alex Ramos's book called $100 Million Offers. You know what he says? He says to justify your actions to people whose life you don't wish to live is the biggest waste of time.
Hey, my childhood friend was on here, Dub Robles.
Yeah. Yo, Dub, what's up?
This is Rosie. I can't wait till we all meet.
I love meeting Roger's childhood friends. I want to ask them all the questions. What was he like? And I want to tell them all the things that he has become. Huh? No, huh? No answer to you. Huh? I will talk to Dub directly. Huh?
So I'll tell you guys this, in our email that we're going to send out, I'm going to make sure that you guys have all of the laws, or most of them, and a beautiful email. And so that you guys, I encourage everybody to make this a part of your life, and bridging the gap on Roger's life. Yes, sir.
I need to just save all those chat comments. So, hey, thank you so much for being on with us today. 58 minutes and 48 seconds.
Gone by fast.
Wow, today's time was fast. So, Roger, I just want to take a moment and thank you. I know every Thursday morning, he's up at 4 o'clock in the morning, finishing his workout, and then he's nowhere to be found until 11 o'clock. He's in a coffee shop. He secludes himself in a room in his office and just literally organizes all the information, studies it for us, and we just get to get it on a platter and have fun with it and run with it. So I just want to say thank you for leading by example. This week I was impressed.
Well, thank you to everyone who's a part of our world. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you to our clients. And over 4 million copies sold. Meet us at the coffee shop tomorrow. We have
Whoa,
a
whoa, yay! Tomorrow we're about to have fun.
coffee social, and I just can't say enough. I think just the law number one, which is the law of the lid. We're only going to earn to the capacity of our leadership. It butts right up against it. There's no such thing as making more money or experiencing a higher level of success than where we are as leaders. And the best part about it is we don't need permission from anyone. It's not a position related concept. I know there's a lot of myths around leadership, and I'm going to share those with you guys too. I'm already working on the document, and
Yeah.
you know,
Get our team to make it all nice and beautiful for our people to be able to just download that one page.
you don't have to be an
They can have it.
entrepreneur to be a leader. You don't need to be a pioneer. Those are some of the real common myths. You don't have to have all this knowledge, and so those are just the 3 of the 5 myths. But I would love to share more of those with y'all. And I hope everybody gets a pay raise, or everyone out there is experiencing a higher level of success, because together we can do great work together. That's what Mother Teresa says, right? She says, I'll do my part, you do yours, and together we'll do something impactful.
Ooh, I love it. Beautiful. Well, Bree, any lasting words?
I have so many thoughts. I'm just digesting all this good news and good information.
You seem very satisfied today,
I am.
and you look beautiful today.
Oh, thank you.
So Brittany is an amazing leader. I want to just praise her for a second, because she has an ability to take people and earn their trust, and they walk into her world, and then she stands by them. She stands by them to the very end, and I think that's a beautiful thing, because and then she leads them to owning more real estate. And so tell us and share with us what exactly it is that you want to accomplish through real estate, and make your plan known. Share it with a friend, share it with us, and together we'll work together on it. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love y'all.
Love
Have
y'all.
fun. Namaste.
Namaste. All
Love
right.
you. Bye.
Bye.